So, Michael, I know you were hurt some last year, so did it take a while to get over that? How are you now? How did it affect you last season?
Yeah, so the injury with my hip flexor came the very last kickoff of the season last year at the bowl game. That was my first time straining my hip flexor since I've been at West Virginia. I've had some previous encounters throughout my career with the hip flexor. So then after that happened, restrained it again, I want to say March, and then again, and after that, it was 3 times. Then I had the back injury, found out I had 2 herniated discs in my spine on each side. So with all that being said, yeah, it was a tough off season. But with those injuries, finding the time to improve my game, improve as much as I can with strengthening my body and perfecting my craft was what I was focusing on when I did get healthy after that.
100% now, and do you have to be careful because obviously it's probably an over kick type thing causing the injuries. So
yeah, so with the hip flexor, that's just been something that has been kind of reoccurring since I came from Georgia State. It's just something that I have to prehab and rehab over and over with my body getting older and where I am at in my career. And then with the back, the docs kind of said that could be a little bit of genetics as well from my parents. They both had hip surgery and they've had some back issues throughout their athletic careers. But I'm pretty close to 100%. I'm feeling good and just ready to help the team throughout the rest of this season. Stay on top of what I do have going on with my body.
What's your outlook on the backyard brawl? Because you experienced last year, but you didn't experience the game in Pittsburgh. So just being able to experience that on the road, what's that mindset for you?
Yeah, I prepare the same for every game, regardless of who the opponent is. This is my first time going up to their stadium. I'm excited to play in that venue, excited for the atmosphere. Something I just tell myself is try to be as emotionless as possible, and we talked about that already today in the specialist room. As a specialist, you don't want the highs to get too high or the lows to get too low. And you kind of, I hate to say it, but as a specialist, like personally, I like to kind of just ride a straight line throughout the game, like not let my emotions get the best of me. If something bad happens, kind of keep that same energy throughout until that game's over. And that's just kind of how I keep a level head throughout the game.
It's been said that it's hard on the kickers at Acrisure because of the wind coming off of the river. Have you prepared for that at all? Have you heard that before?
Yeah, I've been told about that. It's windy. It's windy here every game. Like as you can see on TV or at the game, like that ball was moving this past weekend. It's where we're at. We're up north. I'm ready for it. I know what I'm walking into. Just so that's something that I'm well aware of, and I'm still going to play my ball to the best of my ability and trust my swing, trust my technique, and everything that I've been doing the past 10, 11 years I've been kicking.
How about kicking on a grass surface? Have you had a lot of experience doing that?
Oh yeah, I'm a Southern boy. That's all we had down south. Yeah, I never even played on turf until I got to college.
Okay.
In high school, our practice field even had it was pretty much dirt at some points of the season. So I have a lot of experience playing on grass or bad conditions, if you were to say. So that's not really something I'm too concerned about. I'll feel back at home.
Different shoe though, right?
The
same shoe?
Some people might go with a different shoe.
Same shoe?
I'm gonna rock with what I prepared with.
Okay.
you keep a level head all the time, but I'd imagine still big atmosphere, home away. Do you not get any emotions? Do you not look up and see, well, there are 20,000 people here, or there's 70,000 people?
So my parents and my girlfriend kind of get mad at me because I won't turn around when I'm out there on the field. I honestly do not try to turn around when I'm on the sidelines or even like acknowledge really who's up there, who's in the stands. And I mean, you in that time when your time is to go out on the field, you don't have time to even think about what's going on. I've told y'all before, you know, it's kind of like I black out when I'm out there. So, you know, I'm excited for the big crowd. You know, I'll feed off the energy when you run out there. But in terms of emotion, like I'm going to be the same with the crowd or without the crowd.
Well, you try to keep your mind clear or black out when you're out on the field. When you're on the sidelines, what's going through your mind? I mean,
So when we're on offense, that's when I start going through just some fundamental stuff, ball contact drills, and as we get closer and closer, that's when I warm up into the net. But what's going through my head in that time is, you know, execute when my time's called upon. You know, when we're in field goal range, you know, I'm ready for a field goal attempt. When we get closer down there into the red zone, I think we're going to score. You know, I'm ready for a PAT. So when we're on offense, I'm ready to go out there and execute my job for the team. Defense, that's where I just stay warm, stretch, you know, get some Gatorade, get some water, stay hydrated.
And let me ask you a strange question that grows out of that. When you sleep and you dream kicking winning field goals or this, you know.
I'm not a big dreamer, actually. I mean, I'm a deep sleeper. I sleep fine at night. It takes me three alarms to get out of bed in the morning. But in terms of dreaming, no, I really haven't ever had a nightmare, per se, or even a dream in terms of kicking a game-winning field goal. But, you know, if God wants to put one in my head tonight or this week, I would accept that.
Coming from the South, I'm sure you're used to big rivalry games. With this one, is the energy in the locker room different?
I would say so, yeah. There is a lot of emotion that goes into this game, and that's something that, you know, I didn't really realize when I transferred here. And, you know, after playing last year here at home, you know, you realize what you're getting into and what you're going to be going into when we go up to Pitt this week. The energy is different. You can sense a different energy, but the same excitement's going to come out of us. The same effort is going to be the same game in, game out.
You familiar with any of the kickers that won Pitt games, like Tyler Bittenkirk or Bill McKenzie? Those names ring a bell to you?
No, they don't. Last time, in a pressure situation or just. Yeah, so at Georgia State, I did punt for 3 years, and I still kind of mess around with it. Me and Ollie, honestly, every other day, it seems like weekly, we'll kind of chirp each other. You know, the coaches don't want me to punt or hurt myself just messing around here on the sideline or anything. I'll still mess around with the ball here and there, just punting for fun whenever Coach Thompson's not watching me.
You see what happened with Chris Boswell having to punt for the Steelers after all the field goals? You ready to go with that?
Yeah, I still have that in my toolbox if needed.
On kickoffs, you had a really healthy touchback percentage your last year at Georgia State, right? And last year, I guess it wasn't the injury because that was late in the year, you said. But is it different philosophy? Are there better returners here who bring more out that could be touchbacks? Like, what's the difference in those two numbers?
Yeah, my job is to put the ball in the end zone, and I need to do a better job of that. You know, playing the wind, just trusting my abilities there. If the coaches make it very clear if the ball's not in the end zone to give our returners time to get down the field and have good hang time and good accuracy with where I put the ball on the field to give them a chance. And those guys have my back. I have their back when that ball doesn't go in the end zone.
Isn't that a balance, though? If you're trying to bomb the ball and get it into the end zone, borderline drive, but you've got to be conscious of the hang time and the coverage. So, yeah, I mean, that seems like a balance you got to work on every kick.
For sure, yeah. It's you want the best of both worlds in all three areas. You want good hang time, you want good distance, you want good accuracy, because if you miss one of those, it's going to screw up the return team. It's going to give the other team a better chance to advance that ball. So yeah, if you have good hang time, good distance, but you mislocate the ball, that's still going to give the other team an advantage. So yeah, you want the best of both worlds.
Michael, after every successful PAT or field goal, you have a celebration with Austin Brinkman. What's the backstory behind that?
Brink came up with that. He came up with that probably last second before the game last year. He was like, "Dude, we need a handshake," and I was like, "I'm not the guy for that. I'm not a handshake guy. I'm here to do my job. Like, I'll give you a high five, give you a fist bump." He's like, "No, we gotta come up with something." Wasn't really much thought behind it. He was just like, "Let's do this," and then we rolled with it, and we kept it this year. There's not too much meaning behind it.
Have you had a tackle yet?
Not this season. Last year, I think I did get on one last year.
Strut off the field after that?
Say that again?
Strut off the field after that?
Yeah, and you need to do the Pat McAfee walk off the field.
Just one more on the touchback stuff. Are they asking put the ball on the 2? Or is it hey, put it in the end zone, try to get your distance and your hang time and all that? I don't know. I'm curious.
Yeah, so they want the ball in the end zone. If it doesn't get in the end zone, good hang time to give our returners time to get down there on the field.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you all.